Greetings, fellow traders. Paul here. It's time for the lunchtime market update for Thursday, May the 13th, 2021. I hope everybody's having a great trading day today. This is brought to you by Positive Trends Research, and everything we're going to talk about is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. So please take a moment to review this disclaimer. Awesome. Good. All right, well, let's check and see where we are at the market here today. So SPX, guys, still red here on the monthly chart, but we're up 52 points today, so a little bit of a rally off of yesterday's move. Again, the big reason for that is the huge put-to-call activity yesterday as they squeezed them out this morning. But generally still looking weak here on the weekly chart. Really, depending how we close this week, if we close the red week, that might be a good idea to just kind of be risk off for a little bit, right? So we'll see how that goes. In terms of our move, right? So not surprised to see a little bit of a wave up right here. Again, this could be a wave 1, 2, right? And this could just be kind of like a 1, 2 right here of the larger potential wave down here, as you can see here on the chart. Right? So for instance, it could be a 1, 2, 1, 2 right now, and then still potentially see more downside action. So we need to be a little bit careful here. Let's take a look at the SPY. Again, pretty decent move here. Volume is definitely not as much as yesterday. We did bounce off the 50-day moving average, so we did get a technical bounce there. Now the real question is if we get follow through on that, right? So we'll just have to keep an eye on the price action, see how it goes here through the next week or so. But in the meantime, SP futures again, same thing, bounced off the 50-day moving average. It was kind of a rough night last night, right? It was down like 20 points when we did the bubble report this morning, and they just rallied it right here today. So it gave us some interesting opportunities. We did catch some dip buys right on this relative strength here going into the open. So we did find names like Facebook, AMD, Nvidia, right, that gave us some pretty good dip buys here this morning. And right now we actually could be flagging going into the day. So we have a kind of an area above. It's a little bit risky, right? It was looking like a harmonic going into this morning. Right now we're probably even extended beyond the 3.618 extension. Let's take a look at that right here. So if this was the harmonic move right here, yeah, we're right off of the 3618, right? So not surprised to see it actually pull off of that level. That is a pretty extended move, but now it might be flagging again and trying to work on it. So we'll see how it goes here. Obviously, the MES broke out of a bunch of geometric lines that we drew this morning here, so that gave it a little bit of momentum. So now let's see how it handles these geometric lines to see if it can stay bullish, right? So this recent move up too just gave us a little bit of a line to look at as well. It's about perfect right there. So let's see how that goes here into the afternoon. So the Qs. Okay, so Q's a little bit weak right here. We had a nice downturn in tech. They're trying to buy the dip right now. We'll see if any volume comes in. The IWM, again, that's your, a lot of names like your airlines were showing some relative strength this morning, but this has pulled back pretty hard right here too. It's coming back and retesting the ADMA. So let's see how that goes into the afternoon as well. Let's take a look at the XLF. So XLF again, this was an interesting one, right? So down this morning, we caught a little bit of a profit opportunity in Wells Fargo this morning. Some of our members traded Wells Fargo to the upside and did really well with that, possibly flagging here going into this morning too. The VIX, guys. So this is kind of the big clue, right? So yesterday, not only do we have the put to call ratio, but we had a really strong VIX, right? And sometimes we get a big break on the VIX, right? We see a sharp pullback, and we've seen this all the time, right? So big VIX, pullback, big VIX, pullback, big VIX, pullback. Right, so big VIX pullback. So that's what happens, right? Big VIX pullback. So we have to be a little bit cautious when we get those big spikes in the VIX. Not saying that things aren't bearish, but just a lot of times in those initial VIX spikes, we do see those pullbacks on it. So something to keep an eye on there as well. So good stuff. Let's say a couple names that we like to look at. So Apple here today gave us a couple little interesting moves. It's actually potentially working on a morning star reversal off the 200-day moving average. Remember, there's been a lot of call activity in this one recently through our Discord stream. We got a nice move from signal zone to signal zone here today. We just talked about a little bit of potential bounce here, and we got back over the ADMA. So let's see how Apple holds those levels. Let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla here today is just struggling here. We pointed out that, hey, we could break down below the lows of the day, and we broke down the pre-market lows, and that's a little bit of an extra push right there. And then, of course, they buy the dip. They love buying the dip off of those levels. So good stuff there. Facebook. Let's take a look. Facebook. So Facebook gave us a couple interesting opportunities right here, working its way above the zone right now. So again, gave us a little bit of a push here, but we liked the dip buy here this morning. This gave us a nice move right out of the signal zone today. Another one that we liked on the dip buy radar was AMD. So AMD gave us a good dip buy here earlier. Now, of course, it got crushed later. I actually pointed out short later, but we did get a good dip buy here this morning, so that was nice on AMD. And Nvidia also gave actually a couple dip buys today. We pointed this out along with AMD this morning here, and there was another one here. But ultimately, this was just staying bearish for the majority of the day, and then once it broke down the signal zone, right, you had some nice downside action there on Nvidia. So good stuff there. We got a few requests out there. Let's take a look at Boeing. So Boeing had a nice push this morning, right? It was looking like it was getting ready to just kind of go and launch, and it just really pulled back here today. So pulled back to the ADMA inside day here so far with an upper shadow, so a little bit of caution off of that. We've got ARK-K. Let's take a look. So the RK, so Kathy, poor Kathy. So another inside day down on the RK. We'll see how that goes here. Again, names like Coin, which she's been loading up on, back to red, right, under the ADMA. Roblox, right? So Roblox, inside day down off of that huge move, right? Kind of like the VIX, right? PLTR. Let's say the PLTR, double inside day, so a little bit of caution off of that one. Another request out there, Viac. Again, guys, it's hard to get excited about this name until we can get out of this range. So again, it's continuing to be in its accumulation period here. Amazon, double inside day so far. So just kind of hanging out, chopping here. And GME, let's take a look. GME, still looking pretty interesting. Took the inside day up here a little bit, gave a couple little pops. Right, so a little pop here, a little pop here. So let's see how it goes, right? It's kind of an interesting territory. Let's see if it turns into a bull flag here today. Maybe it's a little move at the end of the day. And let's see if we can get over the ADMA and get going again, right? So remember, we've got this crab harmonic here. It's been sideways after it, but we'll see if it can continue to work its way up. Right now it's in a triangle. So anyway, good stuff, guys. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the market wrap. And until then, stay healthy out there. Remember your risk first and stay safe so you can stay in the game.